recording? Okay, let me start sharing. So, okay, this is for the video. I was explaining to students that on May 18th, everyone in the class has to bring the document to prove that they live in Washington, DC. May 18th, so put that in your calendars. So everyone needs to bring their documents on May 18, not May 19, not May 20, not May 21, not May 1st. It has to be May 18 because there's a schedule for all the classes in the school. All the classes in the school have a certain day that they have to bring their documents in. So it's important that you try to work with the system so that things can go smoothly. So your date to bring in your documents is May 18th.
Miss Yolanda,
Yes,
would I be able to bring like just my ID, or it had to be like 2 forms?
I'm going to show you what I showed you where to find the document. You have to go to the class information folder, then open the registration folder, the registration information folder, and then you click on how to show proof of DC residency.
So it could be anything.
I'm
As long
going
as
to
it's-
go over it right now. I'm going to go step by step about which documents you can bring. So let's
but
begin.
it don't have to be all of them. It could be one or the other.
No, come on, let me explain.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then you can ask me questions after I tell you what documents you can bring. Okay, there are certain documents that you only have to bring that one document to prove that you're a DC resident. Number one, your pay stub. If you bring your pay stub, that's all you have to bring. But this is what has to be on the pay stub. It has to have been issued 45 days before May 18. The pay stub has to have been issued up to 45 days before May 18, the day that you have to show it to the registration department. If it's older than that, they're not going to accept it. So it also must contain withholding, tax withholding of DC only. And the tax withholding cannot be zero. It has to be at least $1 tax withholding, cannot be zero.
You mean the DC tax on the pay stub?
What?
You mean the DC tax on the pay stub?
Yes, you have to show that, that has to be shown on the pay stub. That they're withholding taxes.
Oh, okay.
And it cannot have any other, it cannot have DC and Maryland, it cannot have DC and Virginia. It must only have DC on it. DC withholding only. And it must have the same name and address that you registered with when you first registered with the school. The same name, same address. So if your pay stub doesn't have the same address as the one that you registered, that the school has on record, you can't use that pay stub. Everyone understands that? Okay. Okay, so you only need that. If you have all of that on your pay stub, that's all you need to bring. Next thing, that you only need to bring just that one. An unexpired official documentation of financial assistance from the government of the District of Columbia. Let me explain which financial assistance. The programs include TANF, temporary assistance for needy families, and they call it TANF. If you receive TANF, that's all you have to bring. Medicaid. Medicaid is the free health insurance that DC provides to eligible residents. If you get the free health insurance, that's all you have to bring. Or the State Child Health Insurance Program, SHIP. That's the Child Health Insurance Program. If you have that, if you have a child and they get free health insurance from the District of Columbia, that document, that's all you have to bring. And the last thing, oh no, not the last. If you get supplemental security income, supplementary security income, that's usually from Social Security, SSI. If you get SSI, that's all you have to bring. And the last thing, if you get housing assistance from the District of Columbia, that's all you have to bring if you have that.
I have a question.
Yes,
So you cannot bring your driver license of the District of Columbia?
let me finish, please.
Okay.
Hold your question until I'm finished giving you all the different documents that you can bring. Just hold on.
Thank you.
So you must bring the official letter that tells you that you are eligible to receive this assistance. And also, it must have the same name and address that you use, that the school has on record for you. The next thing that you just need, that one thing to prove that you're a resident, is an embassy letter. It must be issued within the past 12 months. It must contain the official embassy seal. It's that stamp that they stamp on it to make it official. So it must have that seal. And it must be signed by an appropriate embassy official. So it must say, that letter from the embassy must say that you live on the embassy property, that you live in the embassy. That letter must state that. So if you're a person that lives at the embassy, you can bring that letter to show that you live in Washington, DC. And it again must have the same name and address as what you have on file with the school. So those three things, you can bring only just one of those. So now the next things that I'm going to talk about, you're going to have to bring that and something else. So if you bring your DC motor vehicle operator's license or the DC ID, so it must be an official government issued driver license or official non-driver identification. It must be valid, not expired. You cannot bring an expired ID or an expired driver's license. Must have the same name and address as what is on record here at the school. The DC-1 card, I don't know what that is, never heard of it, but if you know about that, the DC-1 card or DC government employee badge is not acceptable. You cannot bring that. The DC-1 card or the DC employee badge, meaning the ID, the employee ID. You cannot use that. Okay, so the motor vehicle must be active. It cannot be expired. So if you bring that, you have to bring something else along with that. So you can bring the DC motor vehicle registration. Must be issued by the DC government. No Virginia registration, no Maryland registration. It has to be registered in DC and must not be expired and must have the same name and address that you have on record here at the school. So if you have your DC license and you have your registration, those two you need to bring. Or if you have your DC non-driver ID card, no. If you don't have a license, you can't, right? Yes. Okay, so only if you have your driver's license and your registration, those two things you have to bring together. Next thing, utility bill with separate proof of payment. You cannot just bring your, which ones are they taking? Gas, electric, and water only. Gas, electric, and water. Do not bring anything else because they are not going to accept it. No matter how much you beg them to accept it, they cannot accept it. Because these rules are from the government of the District of Columbia. These rules are not made up by the school. So only gas, electric, or water bill. But you must bring the last payment that you made within the last 2 months before May 18th. So you can bring as a proof of payment, you can bring You can bring a receipt, the printout of a receipt. You can bring the money order. Showing that you made that payment. You can bring a copy of a cashed check. So if you paid by personal check, you can bring that copy. Okay, let me repeat that again. If you use your gas, electric, or water bill, you must bring proof of payment as well. So you can bring a receipt, you can bring the money order that you used to pay, you can use a cashed check that you paid with. Or if you have a subsidy letter, like sometimes the utilities help you with the payment. If you have that letter, that subsidy letter, you can bring that. So although you have to bring those two things, it only counts as one. If you bring your gas and the proof of payment, the receipt, that's only one thing. It's not two things, it's one thing. So you can bring a utility bill and proof of payment, and let's say a DC non-driver's ID. Okay, the next thing that you can bring your lease or rental agreement with separate proof of payment of the last, wait, let's see. Lease requirements must contain the start date, monthly rent amount, name of landlord, and be signed by you and the landlord. So it must be signed. If it's not signed by both of you, you can't bring it. So it has to be signed by you and the landlord. The proof of payment requirements that are acceptable are a receipt that you paid. So you give them the money and they give you a receipt. You can bring that. You can bring a money order showing that you made that payment. You can bring a copy of a cash check. So it must be within 2 months of May 18. And it must match the rent amount stated on the lease. So if it's not the exact amount, the payment, the receipt, if the receipt is not the same amount as what's on the lease, don't even bring it. And again, must have the same name and address that you have here. So you can bring your lease and proof of payment of your rent. And let's say you pay electricity or gas or water. You can bring the proof of your electricity bill and the proof that you paid. So those two things are enough. And last, if you still live with your parents, if you still live with your parents, okay, so you have to have the parent sign a sworn statement that you live with them. And the parents must show one or two of the documents that I have talked about. So if you live with your parents, they have to sign a sworn statement that you live with them, and they also have to provide proof that they live in Washington, D.C. And the last one, if you are an au pair is a person from another country that gets a special visa to come to the United States to be an au pair. An au pair is someone that takes care of children. But there's a special visa for that. So mostly au pairs are from another country and they come here to do babysitting. So if you're an au pair, so you must have your current unexpired United States Department of State J1 visa. If you're an au pair, you have to have your J1 visa or an au pair agency placement letter. So whatever agency placed you in a particular home, you have to get that, bring that letter with the address where you will be living to take care of those children. And a driver's license, a passport, or other form of legal identification. That's for au pairs. Okay, now we are open for questions.
My question is, if you pay online, I guess you can just print out the payment that you send a copy. You don't have, like a copy of a check or money order, but you pay online. So I guess I had to print that out.
Yes.
Right?
Any other? Yes. You heard me?
Yes, I heard. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
From all of those documents, we only have to bring 2 of them, isn't it?
No?
For example, in
No.
my case, I used to bring.
No, watch the video, watch the video. Once it's ready. Because I said that there were some documents that you can bring just that. But there are some documents that you have to bring another supporting document with it.
Oh, so I
You
wrote
need to watch the
twice.
video. You need to watch the video to get that information, because I'm not going over it again.
No, I watched the video, but I misunderstood. You understand? Thank you.
Okay.
Is there another alternative day that you can bring that information, or that's the only day?
That's the day for this class.
So you cannot make it up if you miss that day by any chance?
Don't miss it.
Okay,
Hmm? Yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. There are a whole bunch of classes, and each class is assigned a specific date. And that's why you're being told in advance. So make sure you come in that day. You have to come into the building that day to take your documents to the registration department when they call.
October 18?
No, October,
No, May something,
May 18th,
May 18th, Thursday.
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
18, yeah, Wednesday. All day.
During the class period. During the class period, you come to class and the registration department is gonna will call me and tell me to send 5 students. When they finish with those 5 students, they'll call again, say, send 5 more. Any more questions? What ID? Yeah. Yeah.
Last year we had, that was the last year, we had a bill for electric and water. We sent the 2 of them.
No, you can't bring electric and water bill as 2 different, no.
Yeah, just one of it and the registration together.
Right, exactly, exactly. So they were asking that if you could bring a water bill and an electricity bill, and that will count as 2. But no, you can either bring electricity bill, a water bill, or a gas bill, and something else. 2,
That's what I'm saying.
what?
That's what I'm saying. Electricity bill plus DCID plus health
Non-driver ID,
insurance.
non-driver ID, right?
No, DC.
What kind of ID?
DCID. DCID,
What kind
Resident.
of ID?
resident.
So a
Of DC.
non-driver ID.
Plus the health insurance. I mean what did you say? The health insurance that we receive from DC. Yes, that's what I brought twice.
If you get free medical insurance from DC, you only need that. You don't have to bring anything else if you have that.
Okay.
If you have that letter saying that you receive Medicaid, because that's what it is, it's Medicaid. But they just call it health insurance. They just call it free health insurance, but it's actually Medicaid. So if you have that, you only need that. But it has to be valid. It has to be current. It can't be expired. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions?
yes,
Yeah.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
I have a license from the District of Columbia, but I do not have a car.
Yeah, me. No problem.
So if you have a license, let's see, license.
It says BL from Washington DC, driver license. But I don't have a motor registration certificate. I don't have a car.
So
yet.
if you have a license you have to bring another, something else. You need something else to bring.
Okay. So I can bring a utility bill along with that?
Along with the receipt,
Yeah.
yes. Any other questions?
So, Mr. Landa, my question, all of those documents, if I remember one of my driving license, it will expire on May 3rd. And the time I will take, I would say to go and see what can it do. But if I have some, the lease, the other document, other document, they are on time. So behind of this, they want to be allowed for me to be approved.
May 7th expired. And I have it.
They give him so.
I think you can answer that question. You can answer that question yourself. If it expires May 3rd, and you have to prove that on the May 18th,
Mhm.
you can't bring that.
Okay.
It's expired. You cannot bring anything that's expired.
By the time I'll be waiting, sometimes say, administration, maybe sometimes I can understand the other way. And I can prove like a lease and bills where I can have 3 or 4. They are on time, like food stamp, or you say this. If one, it is no, like I'm saying, driving license, and I have my registration on time. But if one is expired during 4, among 4 documents, I will not be proved.
So they're gonna give you temporary license, right? Yeah. Mr. Gloria,
Yes,
yeah, they're gonna give you temporary, the license. Every time when you go out there or when you renew on online, they're gonna give you temporary license, right? You can bring that one. It's used as a license.
okay, let's give it short time. Tomorrow we're gonna talk this sometime in person. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. We're gonna talk about tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so let's end that there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, if you need, you can find this document in Schoology. You go to the class information folder. You go to the registration information folder and how to show proof of DC residency. You can read that if you still have questions. Okay, so I'm going to explain the weaving thing again. So I've been talking to you about this weaving project. I've mentioned it several times to the class. So each student gets one of these. You can scan this QR code and it will explain to you how you do it. There are ribbons inside. There are 4 ribbons and it explains it. There's a question on each ribbon and it's written in English, Spanish, Amharic, and French. The question on the ribbon is written above in those 4 different languages. And what you have to do is answer those questions. Like question number 1, the red ribbon. I came to Carlos Rosario from. Whatever you interpret that as, you answer it, whichever way you interpret that as. So the best thing when you're going to use these markers, they are permanent markers. So the best thing to do before you write with the permanent marker on here, write it on paper. Write your answer on paper. And then after you have written it on paper, then put something under this so that whatever you're writing on doesn't get messed up. So put something under and then write your answer. You have the whole ribbon to write your answer. And there are 4 questions: red, blue, green, and yellow question. So you can return it next Wednesday. And then I'll give them to the person who is in charge of doing this. Any questions?
Can I say something about the waving project?
Go ahead.
I invite you to study what are the what brought you to the school, why you are at the school, how you feel, what you want to do for your community, whatever, you know, the school have some scores. If you want to go to Carlos Rosario's website, and you will see the core of the school. And then you will say something about it, and it's gonna be waving, you know, that tapestry is gonna be waving on the 2 campuses. I know that teacher Yolanda show us already, but as part of the committee, I encourage you to do it. It is very, very important that each one of us do that.
And if you want to participate in doing the weaving, putting all of these ribbons to create the tapestry, you can contact, let me write it down. Let me put it on paper. If you want to participate. Okay, it's Tim Gibbon, and that's his email address. If you want to participate in creating the tapestry. Okay, let me put it in Remind. I'm going to send it in Remind. His name is Tim Gibbons. And that's his email address. I put it in Remind. Okay, so let's move on to our lesson.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I go to the class offering. You say we should choose 2 classes, right? Either the one you pay
If you pass the class and if you don't pass the class.
Yeah, what do I choose? Is it fine? Do I send it directly to me or where?
No, I'm gonna ask you,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna write it down for the registration department.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That is problem.
Once it's ready, I think she sent it already. No, I don't think, no, no, okay. So once she sends that, I'm going to let you know.
So that's the same day of the registration that you're gonna let us know about what class we should take or not?
No. I'll let you know. I just want you to be prepared to look, to investigate, look at all the options that are available. So start thinking about it. So when I ask you, you are ready to give me an answer. But right now, no, you don't do it the same day. You don't do it the same day as the registration where you have to prove that you're a resident of DC.
Can you repeat the same class?
Repeat what?
Can you repeat the same class for the next semester?
Yes, you can. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and open our formatting document. So yesterday, we didn't do the table. Okay, we talked about inserting pictures. We talked about how to resize pictures, right? When you resizing a picture, you want to resize from the corners, the circles. There are circles on each corner. There's a circle at the top, there's a circle at the bottom, there's a circle on the side, each side. But you don't want to resize by using the top because it changes the proportion of the picture, or you don't want to resize unless you want to distort the picture. If you want to distort the picture, then you can do that. But if you want the same picture that you saw large, if you want the same picture, as a small picture, you use the corners to resize. And when you use the corners, you drag your mouse to the center of the picture. You drag your mouse to the center of the picture. You see my mouse right there? I go to the center of the picture to resize.
Are you sharing, Miss Yolanda?
I stop sharing?
Okay. Guess
No,
so.
I'm sharing. You can't see?
No.
Yes, we can see.
I'm
Oh.
sharing. Or remember, what's the other way that you can resize a picture?
You can write the numbers.
Right?
Go to
You have to,
insert. Go to
Picture
to-
insert.
format.
you have to click on the picture first, and then you get the picture format. Because if the picture is not selected, there's no picture format tab. So you have to select the picture first, then you get the picture format tab, you click on it, and you go to the size group to change the size. And there's a bunch of other things that you can do to the picture as well in the picture format tab. Bunch of other things that you can do. Okay. Any questions? Oh, and we also talked about deleting. How do you delete a picture? Yeah, you select it, you click on it to select it, and you can just delete on your keyboard, or you can right click. Where's delete? I don't see delete. Oh, I don't. Huh?
Just cut them.
No, there's no delete. So I guess the best thing to do is to just click the picture and press the delete key on the keyboard, because no delete appears when you right click. And that's strange. Okay. So now the next thing that we're going to do, I want you to click on the second picture and then click on the right side in the space, in the empty space. Click on the right empty space of the second picture and then press enter twice. Huh?
How about the table?
Oh, we did the table already?
We did the
Oh,
table, yes.
Oh, yes.
right, right.
Ah.
Another student was sharing, that's why. I'm sorry. Let me create my table. Okay, let me create, was a what, 6 by 4?
Yes.
Yes.
6
Yeah.
by 4, okay. 6 by 4.
Monday through Friday, AM, PM, evening.
Going too fast. Let me slow down. Let me slow down.
Comiendo, mamá. Oigo el grande.
Yo cogí.
El grande era el suyo.
Mute your microphones, please.
Oh, mamá.
Okay. So when we create a table, why would we create a table?
For some time, we can create a calendar or to specify the activities.
Right. Anything where you need columns and rows, right? Columns are top to bottom, rows are left to right, right? Anything where you need columns and rows, you need to use a table because it's difficult to create data in columns without a table. There's a command to create columns, but that's for an intermediate use. So basic use, the best thing is create a table and use that to display your information. You can resize a table. You have to click in the table and notice the ribbon. When you click in the table, you get 2 tabs. You get the table design tab and you get the layout tab. But you can resize a table easily. See down here in the lower right corner, there's a small square. When you put your mouse pointer in there, you get that resizing cursor, that white double arrow. Remember, whenever you see that white double arrow, it means that you're going to resize. You're going to resize something. So you click, you drag down, or you drag to the left, or you drag to the right. you can make it as large as you want. Let's try to make it small so that I can show you how to move the table. So in the upper left corner, there's another square that has like a plus sign in it or arrows in it. If you click on that and drag the table, let's say we want to drag it down. Whoops, it's not moving. You can drag it down or drag it to the right. So you have to click on that square to do that. If you want to delete a table, you have to right click on that square in the upper left corner. You right click on it and you'll see delete table. And that will delete the table. Let's go ahead and click delete table. And the table is gone. Undo, undo. Okay. So it's easy to move a table, but it's not that easy to move a picture. It's not that easy to move a picture. See? Try to move your picture. Are you able to move your picture? No, because you see this square in the upper right corner of the picture? It is called layout options. When you click on it, you can see whenever you insert a picture, it's always in line with text. So that means that, let's say I type right here. So it's on the same line as text. That's what that means. If you want to not have it on the same line with text so that you can move it around, you have to choose with text wrapping. Any one of these with text wrappings, depending on what you have on your page and how you want to set up the picture. I usually just click this one, the square, so I can move it. And then there, you can now move it. You can do the same with the one below. Click on it. You have to click on it first. Go to the upper right corner and just choose one of the with text wrapping. I would choose the square. Whoops, but that always happens. My table gets dragged. Yeah, okay, there. Any questions? Okay. So let's go to our basics of Microsoft Word 2016. We're going to talk about inserting hyperlinks. And you notice that we're almost finished with Word, right? So that means the test is coming up soon. So it's going to be sometime next week. Maybe it might be on Thursday. No, I think we'll be finished. Maybe it'll be on Thursday. I'm thinking Thursday. It depends on how we move. It all depends on how we move. If we don't move fast enough, then maybe it will be 2 weeks. It all depends. So open your navigation pane and click headings and click inserting hyperlinks. What's that? Repeat that?
No, you talk about the navigation
No, I didn't close. I didn't close anything. I just opened the basics of Microsoft. I didn't close anything. Don't close anything. You don't have to close anything until at the end of the class. Who got it open? Anyone got it open?
I have.
Come on, go ahead and read that for us, including the title.
Inserting hyperlinks.
Hyperlinks.
A hyperlink is a link to another document, a section in a document, or a web page. When you click the hyperlink, you are transferred to the place that the link is attached to. The hyperlink can be in the form of text, a graphic, or an icon. Texts that are hyperlinks are distinguished by blue underlined text. Hyperlink. When you type an email address or a website address and press the space bar on the enter key, the text immediately converts into a
Converts
into a hyperlink. For example, Yellis at Rosario.org or www.rosario.org.
Okay, good. Let's open our formatting document. Okay, click to the right of the table. Double click to the right of the table. And then press enter until you get to the next page. And then use the scroll bar to scroll down so you don't see the page with the pictures and the table anymore. Use the scroll bar to scroll down.
Page 6.
Yes, now we have a page 6. So it's easy to create a hyperlink. So let's say you want to create a hyperlink of an email address. So just go ahead and write your email address and stop. Don't do anything else after you write your email address. Go ahead. Okay.
Wait.
Oh, no. Oh, geez. I'm trying to find some candy or something. My sugar is low. Huh? Candy? You have? I don't have my purse. I've been using my bag. I usually have candy in my purse. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll take 2, thank you. Sorry, class, I just got an alert that my sugar went low. Okay. So. So we type our email address. And we can either press the space bar or press enter. Let's press the space bar. And there, it becomes a hyperlink. If you put your mouse pointer on it, put your mouse pointer on it. Well, first, let's undo. Let's undo. And put your mouse pointer on it. Nothing happens. Let's redo. Now put your mouse pointer on it. That tells you that it's a hyperlink. And in the box, it says mail to. Mail to always means that it's an email address. Mail to. You see that in the box?
Yes.
It always means that it's an email address. And then below it says control click to follow link. Let's press control click. Control click. Mine, it takes me to Outlook because I have Outlook that I use on my computer. But on your computer, it gives you a box that has different email programs that you can choose, right? And so you just choose the email program that you want to use to send the email.
Please, Miss Yolanda, what should be the mouse?
What? Yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I'm saying. They get a box. They get a box with email program. Yeah. What was the question?
When you said to see the other address, I got my mouse on the icon and to click control space bar, you say. And my question, where should be the mouse?
Share your screen. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about. As you say, I have my address over here. Then, if my mouse is there, you said the way you can see the other address. So my question, where should it be my mouse?
Put your mouse pointer on it. There. You see? It says mail to and it has the email address. So whenever you see mail to, that means that an email address will follow that. And then it says below the email address, it says control plus click to follow the link. So press control plus click. Click. No, you can't move it. Control. No, put it back. Control. Now click. Why are you moving the mouse? You have to click the keyboard. I mean, click the left mouse button. There. You get Outlook.
Okay.
You get, okay, you get Outlook and you can choose any of those email programs.
Oh.
Outlook, Office, Google, Yahoo. You can use any of those to send your email.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Any questions?
I have a question, Ms. Yolanda.
Mhm.
Still, I don't understand what's the use of the hyperlink, like for what we use it, when.
So if you are making a hyperlink of an email address like we just did, when you click that hyperlink, it's because you want to send an email to that person.
I mean, like a group, or I cannot just
No,
go?
An
Yeah.
email address. An email address. You have an email address, right?
Yeah, I did. It's the
So-
same thing.
No, let me explain.
Okay.
You have an email address. If I have a link of your email address, when I click on that link, my Outlook will appear. My Outlook will appear with your email address in the toolbox. You know the toolbox where you write the email address of the person you're sending the email to?
Mhm.
Your email address will be in that box, ready for me to write the email to send you the message.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to go to like a Yahoo or Gmail. So we just typing and then
But
we
you
do
do, because the reason I get Outlook is because I use Outlook on my computer. But you don't, students don't use Outlook on your computer. So
Mhm.
what you get instead is a box where you can choose which email provider you use. And you click on it. So let's try it again. Huh? Wait. So go back to the email address that you just typed. Put your mouse pointer over it. It says Control plus click. So press Control and click the left mouse button. You see what opens here? My inbox for my Outlook, because I use Outlook. Sorry, we have to stop right now. Our students have to go up to the auditorium for
Oh, yeah. Ay, bueno, la number this. Test. So went for the test. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Can I leave after that?
Can you what?
Can I leave after that? I have to.
Oh, okay.
Fasting.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Have a good
night.
evening. Okay. So give them about 10 minutes. So take a break and they'll be back soon. No? That's why I don't like taking that type.
You gotta go back next Wednesday. Okay.
Oh, that's what they tell you?
Yeah, because I was eating candy.
Oh,
I'm supposed to eat.
right, uh-huh. No, no. Oh, no. You have any more candy? Well, it keeps going down. I don't know why it keeps going down. Now it's not even measuring right now because it's so low. Oh, okay. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Does anyone can get you some Coke or
That
does anyone can get you some Coke to drink?
Coke.
Coke. Mhm.
Might be that help.
It's sweet.
I have it? I got some candy.
A real one,
Hmm?
real one, a real one, because there are some that are for diabetic.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, you will feel
Everybody's
better. Mhm.
okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So Kokobi,
Yeah,
when I click on the email address, the hyperlink, I get the inbox of my Outlook, my Carlos Rosario email program. So right here, you see the 2, it has the same the same email address that I clicked there. That's the same thing that's here. So all I have to do is enter the subject.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So how about if I just open up my email and I'm not using, I have not opened another document or anything like this. I just composed an email to a friend. Can I compose a hyperlink right there on the email without having any to, can I make up a hyperlink on that email?
I'm not understanding.
So let's say that I'm composing a email message. And then I don't have another document open or anything like that. I just, sending a message to a friend, email message. So can I compose a hyperlink on the Outlook message,
You
email
can
message?
create a hyperlink anywhere.
Because were the commands to make the hyperlink be on the Outlook as well, on the email, page?
Well, let's see if when we finish here, if that answers if we answer your question when we're finished.
Okay.
So let's close the box that shows up when you click your email address. And let's click to the right of the email address and press enter twice. Now we're going to type carlosrosario.org. carlosrosario.org. So what we did was we clicked to the right of the email address that we wrote before, and we pressed enter twice, and then we type carlosrosario.org. After you type carlosrosario.org, don't do anything else. So once you type carlosrosario.org, press the space bar. Did anything happen?
No.
Okay. So then press the home key on your keyboard. Press home. And then type www.
My home key is not working.
Home.
What, Yael? Yael, what did you say?
My home key from the keyboard, when I press,
Oh,
it
press
doesn't work.
FN, try FN. And whenever something doesn't work, you always have to try FN.
Huh? Say again, please. Try what?
FN.
Okay, so now press the END key, N, press the N key, END. And then press your left arrow.
Oh,
Then press the left arrow key. So we want the insertion point right next to the G, and then press the space bar. Press the space bar now. So now, did something happen?
Yeah.
Now put your mouse pointer on it. Now, instead of mail to, it says HTTP : whenever you see HTTP, that's internet. Whenever you see HTTP, that's internet. And then it says control plus click to follow link. So let's do control and click. If it doesn't work, try it again.
You work, you go into the website, Carlos Rosario.
Yes. Mhm.
I think it might be highlighted.
You didn't follow the instructions. The insertion point has to be right next to the G in org. And then you press the space bar. So that's a hyperlink to a website. So you can do that for any website. Okay. Any questions?
Can you do it again when I see the code? Mine is not.
Yes, I have a question, Monsieur Yolanda.
Yes.
Let me go back on my case. If I can share what you said, we should have wrote carlosrosario.org and we should click on home, but nothing happened to give us a hyperlink. Then you said we should click again but it didn't work. So what can I do now?
Supposed to say www.carlosrosario.org. If you don't have that, it's not going to work.
So the upper link should be at the left of Carlos Rosario or at
No, the whole thing is a hyperlink, but it has to be www.carlosrosario.org. If you only write carlosrosario.org, it's not going to work.
Oh,
carlosrosario.org cannot create a hyperlink. You need the www.carlosrosario.org in order to create the hyperlink.
okay.
I know,
Because the www dot tells Word you're creating a link to a website.
Okay.
That's what the www dot does.
I fixed it, Miss Ellie. I had a space between Carlos Rosarios. I had a space
Oh,
after
okay.
Carlos. So now I
Right,
have
right.
the links.
Okay, good. Any other questions?
The other question you said for HTTPS, you say what we should click to create that.
Did you type www.carlosrosario.org?
Yes, I did.
Is your insertion point right next to the G in org?
That's right.
Now press the space bar. Do you have the hyperlink now?
Yes, I have it.
Put your mouse pointer on it. So now it's going, that screen tip, that box is going to say HTTP colon. Whenever you see HTTP colon, that means internet.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have it. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, Armand, could you continue, please?
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
You can use graphics like pictures and thumbnails to use as hyperlinks. The hyperlink can be used to link, to send an email, open a website, open a document, or to go to another page in the same document. Some links require that you press the control key when you click whatever is being used as the hyperlink to activate it. You can access the hyperlink command in the links group of the insert tab of the ribbon. Or you can right click on an object or selection in a document and choose the hyperlink command. Either way, we produce the insert hyperlink dialog box.
Thank you. Okay. Enrique, could you go to the bottom of page 38 and read that and then move on to page 39?
Page 1, the selection.
To insert on page 38, the bottom of page 38.
And say hyperlink.
You want me to make it bigger on the screen?
To insert a hyperlink in a document to access another page in the same document, follow these steps. Should I do the activity 1 or just no?
No, select the text. You don't have that?
Okay.
Number 1.
Select the text to which you want to apply the hyperlink. 2, right-click on the selection and click the hyperlink command, or go to the Insert tab and Links group and click Hyperlink. 3, in the Link to area to the left of the hyperlink dialog box, click Place in this document. 4, on the right side of the top you can change the text to be displayed as the hyperlink, but it's not necessary to change this. 5, in the box below, select the area in the document that you want to link to, then click OK.
Thank you. Okay. So let's go to our formatting document. Let's go to page 3. So we're going to use the text. We're not writing an email address. We're not writing a website address. We're just going to use text to create a link. We're going to create a link to the Microsoft.com website. So everyone has Microsoft Office 2016 on page 3. If you don't have Microsoft Office,
I don't know.
just select any text. Select any text.
Okay.
Huh? Select Microsoft Office 2016 or select any text. Any
I have
text
a
you have.
heading 1. Can I select that, Ms. Yolanda?
Any text.
Okay.
Now, there are 2 ways that we can apply a hyperlink to this text that we selected. We can right-click on the selection. You have to put your mouse pointer on the text that you selected, and then you right-click. And then you go down to the bottom where it says link. You can click link, but there's an arrow to the right. If you put your mouse pointer on the arrow to the right, it gives you recent documents that you have saved on your computer. At the bottom of all of those documents, you have insert link. So click that. Then you get the insert hyperlink dialog box. On the left side, we have the link to. So you have to choose one of these three, either an existing file or web page. So remember, it says at the top, link to. So you want to create a hyperlink to link to. Or you can choose place in this document. Or you can choose email address.
Okay.
And then to the right at the top, it says text to display. So we don't have to change the text. If we want to, we can change the text that we want to display. Instead of Microsoft Office 2016, we can change to something else. And then it says look in. We don't need that. We don't need look in and all of those things below it. We have to go all the way to the bottom where it says address, because we're creating a link to the Microsoft.com address, right? So how do we start writing this website address?
www.
Exactly, www.microsoft.com. www.microsoft.com.
Good evening, Carlos Rosario, students, teachers, and staff. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. These are your evening announcements. Students, if you want to put your name for the parking lottery for the month of May and June, please come to the auditorium to write your name. You will need proof of insurance, registration, a valid driver's license, and license plate information. Please know that tomorrow will be the last day to register for the lottery. Student services will be in room 217 on the second floor to answer questions about transportation services. Food services is selling hot meals near the exit. At this time, classes level 5, level 4, and level 1, you may dismiss.
Okay, so once you type www, HTTP automatically appears. So then we can click, once we type Microsoft.com, we click OK. And now you can see Microsoft Office 2016 or whatever text you selected becomes a hyperlink.
Oh, yeah.
When you put your mouse over it, you have HTTP Microsoft.com. So it says click, control click. So control click. And there we go. Did everyone go to the Microsoft.com website?
Yes.
Not me.
You did something wrong then. So just do it again, right click. Select the text, right click.
Okay.
Click link. Select the text, right click, click link. You must choose existing file or web page on the left, right below link to. You have to choose that existing file or web page. And then on the right side, you just go all the way down to the bottom where it says address and type www.microsoft.com. No space, no space. www.right. Microsoft.com.
And then click OK.
Then click OK. And then
Time,
click on it.
classes, demonstrations,
Okay, now.
activities, and orientation.
Oh,
Business.
Huh? Yes.
now I get it.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, so we'll continue with this tomorrow because we can create hyperlinks to almost anything. So we'll do some other hyperlinks tomorrow to other documents on your computer, to a link to some place in a document, in the same document. So we'll continue this tomorrow. Any questions before we leave for the evening?
I have a question, but after everybody leaves.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yolanda. Bye.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night,
See
everybody.
you all
Bye-bye,
tomorrow.
good night.
Thank you very much. Get well, please.
Me, I don't want to leave. I want to stay here.
Okay, that's okay, you can stay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm leaving. Have a good night. Yeah.
Miss Ellie?
Yes.
Yes, I mixed the morning class and I was trying to look at the recording, but it was not recording. And so did you give the same class that you give now? Or was that the same class that you give this morning?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, another question. So tomorrow we had to take the saliva test?
No, it was today.
It was today, okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so that was it. Yeah, that's all that I wanted to ask you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Tomorrow I'm gonna bring you some of the problems